So hey there, as you can see, my hair is still pink. I've washed it once. I managed to go, and it's still looking pretty good. I like it. I never thought I'd have pink hair. Pink is generally not a me thing. It's, other people's thing, but I kind of dig this. So that's good. I am house sitting at my favorite place, and that's good. Unfortunately, I didn't include it in what I need to get the hell out of where I'm at. So I still need the fundraiser, which I don't want to talk about right now because it's really upsetting me. And I'm sorry if I've been a jerk about that and stressed, but Facebook is not sharing my post. And I think that's why a lot of you haven't seen it, but I've got issues around that. I'm doing a video. It's just easier for me right now, mentally, emotionally, and hands hurting. So I'm going to try this. So the saga of the Kindle, the goddamn Kindle, is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about some of the baggage related to what's going on with it, emotionally, mentally for me. I want to talk about people trying to help. I want to talk about what will help. And I want to ask you to, if you suggest something and I say no, please just say, okay, I see that won't work for you. You don't have to use those words, but let it go. When you're poor and disadvantaged, I have in the past decade plus been through so much crap from and gaslighting and abuse from people who are offering me things that I'm supposed to be grateful for. And I'm always grateful, but they offer me things I don't need or stuff that is their junk. And this is not aimed at any of you. This is experience I'm telling you about. I've had things just foisted on me, and I've been made to feel like I didn't have a right to say no. If I did, I was a horrible person and super ungrateful. And so, I often took things that weren't good for me. And this went as far as not just like ending up with junk that, ended up in my storage or whatever, or they had to move around or take responsibility for throwing away or giving to somebody else or whatever. But things like, when I was hungry and when I was a vegetarian, this is part of why I became an omnivore again, to be honest. People would insist on like feeding me, and I would go over to their house grateful, and they knew I was a vegetarian, and they would just shove meat in my face and be like, well, I know you're hungry, so you'll eat it. I mean, these are people that are supposed to be my friends. These are people that you're friends with that I'm not. Yeah, those kind of things just aren't good for anybody. They wear at your soul, and I've got a lot of damage from that. So I'm trying to get healthy boundaries, and I'm getting better at it. And this is something where I feel like I really need to just explain this. I went on a long splainy rant to a friend of mine who was trying to help the other day, who was trying to act as the middle person to facilitate getting me some help. And she didn't need to hear all that stuff, but I went into full ADHD. I must explain everything, and oh my God, I feel so guilty, and I'm horrible, I'm a terrible person, and I blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure, I'm sorry. I love you. I appreciate you. In this case, someone that she knew felt bad for me and was offering to buy me a used Kindle. And I had two concerns when I really thought about it. One was that if she spent that much money on me, because it was like depending on which one she got, it was like anywhere from like $65 to like almost $80 plus tax. And that just seemed insane to me for a used Kindle, considering the one that I have my heart set on, it's like $160 when it's on sale. So it just seemed like a lot, like especially it was like $80. Gee, that's like, half of it. So anyway, this person offered this thing, and it was very generous of them and very sweet. But I started thinking, well, I would feel horrible if I got it and it died, because there's no warranty. It's used. Or number two, if in a couple of months it gets better and I get the Paperwhite I really want. And then, of course, I'll probably, either use that used one as a backup or whatever, or give it away to somebody who needs it. But I would feel like that's just a huge chunk of money just wasted for a few months use. And I just didn't, my responsible adult brain just could not wrap my head around either of those possibilities. I had somebody, and then what I suggested was, let her know that if she wants to get me an Amazon gift card for whatever she was willing to spend, I will set it aside. And when I can start saving money for a Kindle, I'll use that and it'll really help me. Or the other option was like, please donate to my moving fund, because that's the real hardcore practical thing. Yes, I'm going nuts not being able to read right now, but I'm way behind on that. So far, crickets from her end. I haven't gotten a donation, haven't got a gift card, and that's okay. That's fine. If she doesn't want to do it, that's fine. But my guilt trip is like, oh, she thinks I'm this horribly ungrateful, snotty little brat who wanted the thing and didn't get the thing, so it wasn't good enough for her. How dare she? She's in poverty, so, So there's that. I had another person who offered to loan me a Kindle and was like, fine if it breaks or whatever, and it was really sweet of them. I don't want to borrow something. I'll feel horrible if I drop it and break it or it just dies. I will feel bad. So I just don't want that. So here's what'll work. This thing is dead. This is a brick. It's been a good brick until it became a brick. The things that would work for me when I put my Paperwhite on my wish list, if somebody is flush and wants to buy me a really big gift, I won't complain about that. But barring that, for now, to tide me over, the things that would work best would be something that I can ideally use the Kindle Reader app on, and also Audible. Now, some things that won't happen on, I'll have to use Audible on my phone, which I prefer not to, but I can. So a tablet, which would be like an Android tablet, or I suppose an iPad, should run both of those. Doesn't have to be fancy, just as long as it can run those things. The other thing would be a Kindle. If it's an older Paperwhite, like the last generation or the one before, it won't run Audible, but at least I can read on it. That would probably be preferable to an older regular Kindle because of weight and size and things like that, and the light. The other better possibility might be another Fire, because it will run both programs. So that's it. I know I've prattled on a really long time. I didn't mean to, but I don't know if I could have done that, Speedy. I guess I could have just said, don't offer me nice things I don't want. That sounds really horrible. But for my tenuous sanity at the moment, my nerves are just so bad. It's fine. I mean, if you have some idea that's completely out of the box, great. But I don't want a loan. I don't feel comfortable with a loan. I do feel comfortable with a gift. If it doesn't cost you any more money, a gift of an older thing would be great for a few months. It would really save me. I can listen to audiobooks right now, but I had this huge goal of 5,000 something words. I was going to read all the big novels this month, and of course I read faster than I listen. And some of them I don't have Audible for. So it's just not going to happen. And I'm kind of crushed, because that was my kind of birthday reading gift to myself, was I was going to read all these big books I've wanted to read. Not happening now. So, somebody has something laying around that would work for me. Wow, that'd be great. I really appreciate you all. And again, I'm sorry if I've been a jerk. And I know some of you had the reaction of what fundraiser? I didn't know a fundraiser. I didn't see anything. But I mean, I have talked about this and posted it a bunch of times. And I just I feel really bad about it. So that's the scoop on the Kindle. I hope that you are all well. I know some of you aren't, and I'm sending you a lot of love. I hope that, I know a lot of you are more stressed than I am, so I didn't want to say, I hope none of you are as stressed as I am. So I will get on talking about the fundraiser thing soon. I will probably just have to send out individual messages because I don't think Facebook is going to let me post it. I don't think you're going to get it if I do it that way. And it's really frustrating. If you're in my group, I will post it there because sometimes that works better. But you're not going to be able to do a direct share from my page, either one of them. You'll have to copy the link or do it from GoFundMe. But I could really, really use your help. And I will fill you in on that ASAP. Love you. Thank you.